there's different parenting, and I know that I need to, that I can't control how he parents.
But you've missed the point that we're even having this conversation, because his parenting is a condition that you can't control.
Right.
In other words, that's all things that you can't control. But what you can control, so out here in the details, you disagree with some of his parenting tactics.
Correct.
And he disagrees with some of your parenting tactics. Mm-hmm. And the children have got your number. Mm-hmm. If they can get the two of you stirred up against each other, mm-hmm. they are in the clear for a little while. So out there in the details of all of this, it's sort of endless. It's just sort of different scenarios, but it's sort of the same thing keeps going. So, but as you get back into this alignment that we're talking about, so you disagree with his parenting skills, and if you were to write a book about it or even discuss it with a group of lovely people as these that are in this room, you would find some agreeing with him and some agreeing with you. In other words, there could be a world debate over if this happens, then what should you do? And if this happens, then what should you do? But all of that is so poorly orchestrated and executed in comparison with your alignment with Source, who knows everything that's in your vortex and where you are in relationship to it, and everything that's in your children's vortex and where they are in relationship to it. So your inner being, the Source within you, knows what the path of least resistance is for all of you to get to where you want to be. And as any of you are in alignment with that, the impulses that you feel will guide you there. So even if your husband is executing the most horrible, by everybody on the planet, including your standards about what good parenting is, the fact that you're focused upon something that has you disconnected from Source mm-hmm. means Source is not looking at your husband's parenting skills in the way that you are. It means that Source, for example, is focused upon the good intent of your husband. Source, for example, is focused upon the love that Source knows that your husband has for the children and for you. In other words, you're not going to get Source in the middle of the argument. Why are you willing to get into the middle of the argument? That's really a good way to put it. Because when you're willing to go where Source won't go, then you're always out of whack, and then it always feels like somebody else should do something different in order for you to feel better.
Got it.
Oh, it's so easy to live a conditional life. We know that. When conditions are good, when you wake up and the kids are still asleep, we know. We know. You tiptoe around the house. I would brush my teeth, but they might hear the water running. Don't ring the doorbell, don't ring the doorbell, don't ring the doorbell, don't ring the doorbell. Oh, you've changed the conditions of my world. Now you have awakened the children. And what you really want is for them to be awake and moving around and sifting through contrast and putting rockets of desire into their vortex. And what you want to be doing is doing the same thing. And what you want to do every chance you get, which is while they're sleeping and first thing in the morning, just beat the drum of how you feel about them. Beat the drum of how lovely they are. Beat the drum of what amazing people they are. Beat the drum of the perfection of that which is them. Beat the drum of the clarity that they so often exhibit. Beat the drum of the pureness of their little hearts. Beat the drum of the fun that just runs through their veins. Beat the drum of the sweet things that you see them doing. Beat the drum of the things. Now, even in this, as Esther said to us, you're finding things that are conditions, but they are wobble-free conditions. In other words, you are practicing alignment that doesn't cause you to wobble, and as you do it enough, nothing will be big enough that you will wobble. Nothing will be so big that you will wobble. And then you'll stand as the example to your children that you mean to be, an inner being-like example that shows them that their happiness attracts you like moths to a flame, and that their unhappiness repels you, not because you don't love them. It's just the natural thing. You just don't hang around where it doesn't feel good, just like their inner being doesn't hang around where it doesn't feel good. Take from yourself the burden of controlling controllable conditions and accept the responsibility of controlling something that you can for sure control. And set yourself up for success in that by leveraging your energy with the energy of your true trajectory, so that next time or sometime soon, when they're squabbling, you're just standing back and just loving them so completely, even in the midst of their squabbling, that you just find the whole thing sort of cute and amusing. And now it's no fun to try to get you involved. Hey, Mom, she did, he did, she did, he did, because you're just standing there enjoying all of it. You're not going to take sides in it, because
I just say thank you for the story, and they usually are like, okay.
You're not going to get all twirled up in it, because you're steady where you are. You're loving them where you are. It's no fun to complain to someone who doesn't join you in the complaint. You just get tired of it. And for a while, you try harder to get them to see it your way. Esther would say to Jerry, I really want to talk about this, because I really want to know what you think. And Jerry would say, I think you really want me to agree with what you think. No, I really want to know what you think. But she really wanted him to just agree with what she was thinking.
Sounds familiar.
Because she was looking for validation in all the wrong places. She was looking for consensus in all the wrong places. Look for consensus with source, and then have your conversation. And it won't take long before your children will remember what true alignment feels like. They do it all the time. Amplify that. Amplify that. Not with slobbery, over the top, I love you so much because you're being nice to each other finally for a minute words. Not like that. Just train yourself into remembering who they are, and don't let the conditions of their temporary behavior derail you from your conviction of who they really are.